Correct. Kind of looking through Roll20 right now at on the group sheet page, just going through them all. Gunther gave me a rundown earlier. Looks like you put most of the stuff in. Things seem to be jiving. I have no clue what I'm looking at really, but yes, I've looked at the character. I've looked at, yeah. Whether I understand or not, a whole different thing, but I've looked.
It's easy to learn.
Yeah. I trust you guys to help me and just, yeah, get me to the background. I'm sorry, one more time?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you're kind of garbled, Jim.
Yeah, Jim, you're
Tinny.
still coming through like
Tinny.
low bandwidth, tinny, a little bit
Sounds like
choppy.
Garbledy.
It sounds like you're gargling.
No, garbledy.
That
You're
sounds about
Marla.
right.
See, don't do that garble noise because that makes me think of Sam Kinison.
God.
Oh, that brings back memories.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Kelly, now you've gone and done it. We can't hear Jim at all.
She broke him.
I did.
Looks like a big storm cutting down through Phoenix and down through to Tucson. Potential still tonight. Heavy rains, hail, damaging winds, dust storms, lightning. Yay.
Oh, joy.
Just did my roof last year. I don't need to be having more damage to it.
Okay. Microphone now.
All right, I need help understanding what is the value of something.
Okay.
I'm looking at seize the initiative. And it says once per game session, the character may leap forward to create a daring distraction on the battlefield by performing the seize the initiative maneuver. It's written very poorly. By making a hard, I put 3 black diamonds, athletics check. If he succeeds, any number of the other PCs who have not yet acted this round may immediately take their turns as if there were that many PC slots at that point in the initiative order. Each PC who acts this way counts as having acted for this round and thus cannot act again this round. The initiative order returns to its previous order at the beginning of the next round. Is this valuable? Like if we all have shit initiative?
Yes.
And this is a way to get ourselves something to do?
Yep.
That is exactly correct. Yep.
Yeah, so we can all go before the bad guys instead of, especially if we think we can wipe the bad guys out in one turn.
Okay.
Sounds
All right,
handy.
awesome. I am going to take that.
Yeah, allows us to bum rush and before they can do anything if we had shitty initiative.
It allows us to seize the initiative.
Everyday initiative.
Oh boy.
Yep. I can tell already it's going to be one of those nights.
Seize the day, boys. Carpe something.
Carpe diem.
Well, carpe diem, but not.
What's
But
this got to
no.
do with fishing?
But no, yeah, no. It's like, but not. It's not seize the day. So
Yeah,
what's
it's-
seize the initiative? What's
The
carpe what?
opportunity. Never took Latin, sorry.
Yeah.
Carpe initiatus.
The soldier
Um,
signature ability tree sounds bullshitty.
The which one?
The soldier signature ability tree.
Oh, what is it?
You have to be fucked up. Once per game session, as an out-of-turn incidental, the character may spend 2 destiny points to ignore the effects of all critical injuries for 2 rounds. When this effect ends, he suffers the effects of these critical injuries as normal.
yeah, allows you to push through, getting all shot up and beat up.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to tempt fate or nothing, but I've literally never been all shot up in this joint.
I mean, it would have been nice for my character. I've been in that state with 3 or 4 crits and
On more
going
than
at
one
one
occasion
time.
already.
So those would have been beautiful for when I was in those states. So yeah, Carpe Marte, it looks like Latin for initiative, M-A-R-T-E. So Carpe Marte.
Yeah, I'm finding several different
Oh, Marty.
words that initiatus is one, ausis is
For
another, and
Latin for
orcus.
initiative.
Yes, these are
Huh.
several different words for initiative. Yep. Initiatus is is probably the most closely to it because initium it means the beginning, and so initiative being before initiatus.
That's the root word for initiative. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Yes.
Now we
You're
can.
who?
You do say.
Yes.
Much better.
That is indeed what
Now
it
let's
sounded
explain
like.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds about. I was going to suggest that, and then you fell off because we have that. I have that happen with people at work all the time. It's like, you sure you got the right mic, and it's not your laptop mic, and you got the lid closed, and because you're using a docking station. Say, there. How about that? Same thing with the camera. They'll have the camera on the laptop, integrated camera instead of the Logitech. And it's like, why is my camera just? Yeah, like why is everything all gray and I can't see anything? It's weird. Like, wrong camera.
See, for a little while at work, they noticed that my camera was all black, and then they finally figured it out. It was because I refused to take off the lens cap on my camera lens. And
I was gonna say you had the privacy shutter. Yeah.
right. That's why I wear a dress shirt from the waist up and boxers from the waist down.
Well, yeah. When I worked from home, that's what I did.
Standard meeting
Pretty
attire.
much.
Just don't forget and stand up to
Right,
go grab
exactly.
something.
Stand up and do a big fat stretch, and they're like, Gunter, you're fired.
No, you just have to go to a meeting.
The Prime Minister of Canada didn't lose their job for it. He was taken.
Get up, stretch out, start shaking
Yeah.
back and forth. Anyway,
can
so
we kill
there
some
we
people yet?
were. What's that?
So can we kill some people yet? Or can you all kill some people yet? I'll just drive you around. But I want to see some bloodbaths. All right, our taxi cab drivers are waiting. Actually, I can't remember exactly where we left off, but when you're ready for me.
Oh wow.
Okay, that's bizarre.
Technology.
So we have 10 hours to kill them all. How long do we
Oh,
have before we can start? Okay. Yeah, see, I misunderstood last session. I thought it was we had 10 minutes to kill before I think that's what you said, is we had 10 hours to kill, and I took that as 10 hours to kill before we start, not 10 hours to kill everything.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think we just discussed before you got on, Jim, that we were going to go after the mining group first. I think last week I was pushing for the spice racer group, but makes more sense to go after the miners because we're trying to take a prisoner from the spice group, and rather not be carrying around a prisoner with us when we go to take out the other gang.
I got a trunk.
I mean, I was gonna say there is a trunk on the cab. That's all. That's all you need to know. I mean,
Well, that's a good point. Good point. But he is an engineer. He's probably pretty good at getting out of a trunk.
I'll put him under the tire.
immediately you have the tail light get knocked out and a hand waving the local law enforcement can help him.
Right?
Go with what G says. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Sir, why is there a hand coming out of your vehicle?
Right?
It's literally just a hand, officer. Just a hand. It's our pet hand.
It's Lurch.
Right. Haven't you ever watched The Munsters? The Addams Family, I mean.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh, you're really making it bad. Lurch from the Munsters.
Well, this is the Star Wars universe, so we can't exactly emulate everything in the our universe. Or could we? Because, Star Wars did happen a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, so their TV signals would just now be reaching us.
Yeah, no, we got one of them a long time ago. That was the Christmas holiday special.
Oh my god.
That was the worst. People complain about stuff out now. No, they had not everything is better than the Christmas holiday special. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know. The Christmas holiday special did have the sex scene.
It had, creepy Chewbacca uncle with his creepy goggles.
Right? I mean, it was definitely age appropriate, that's for sure. Oh, so also while we're waiting, just a quick reminder that a week from this Friday will be Churrasco de Brazil. Please let me know if you plan on attending.
The July 11th, I recall, right?
Yep, that is correct.
When is it? The 11th, next Friday?
Yep.
Oh.
We're in.
Excellent.
I will be
I'll make
looking forward
reservations.
to it.
Me too. Yeah, I'll make a reservation sometime mid next week.
Okay, so you guys have had plenty of time to plot and plan. What is your plan as the camera pans down into the giant wreckage of the city with you guys and your new best friend's cab driving off through the hollowed out inside of what used to be this giant metropolis?
So our first plan is to sink the pool with the GM. And then after that, we're going to plan to roll our destiny.
That's a
Meanwhile-
horrible plan.
Meanwhile, your cabbie's hungry after all that meat talks.
I mean, when you can get all you can eat Brazilian beef, you say yes.
See, all my snark caused me to roll a dark side.
Oh, I usually roll dark, so
Yeah, not
And-
looking good.
we got some light. Yay!
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Is Mike rolling initiative too? Or I'm sorry,
If
yeah,
he's
Destiny.
playing, he should.
He counts
Yep.
as a player, so I mean, why shouldn't he?
All right, Mike,
Right.
on your character sheet, on the character sheet tab, up at the very top, just below dice pool, you'll see Destiny pool. On the left-hand side of the Destiny pool, you'll see a button that says Roll Destiny. Go ahead and
Don't you
click
wanna
that
take
button
first?
at your leisure.
1 second. Character sheet. Dice and Destiny pool. One more time. Roll Destiny.
Yep.
All right.
Hey,
Excellent.
I'm getting the hang of this already.
Yeah,
Nice,
fitting right in
excellent.
with the
Put it
crowd.
in.
Where'd chat go?
We wanted a lot of whites. We got a lot of blacks.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
now.
utilize the light pool. The GM uses the dark pool, so.
Yep.
And if you were interested, Mike, by the way, on your character sheet under the vehicle tab is your caddy for it to take damage, since I know some of you want to get into vehicle damage soon-ish.
No, I said a long time from now, damn it.
And you
I
may
said in
actually notice that your cab has weapons on it. They're rear facing, but it's got weapons on it.
interesting.
You got repeating. I don't see the rear facing portion, but cool.
And
That works.
when you look
Yeah,
at
remember
your
that later.
picture, there's pizza pies, and it's rear arc for the vehicle.
I think your
Anyways,
mic
it's
back to
remember
your
that later.
ear.
You might need it. I'm a cab driver. I'm not, the most intelligent. I might
We
forget
know.
about things.
Jim, I think your
Oh,
mic
yeah.
might have switched back to your laptop.
Oh, I see it there
Nope.
I see the rear facing now.
That was
Aft.
just me moving the microphone, so that's why you heard it go garble. Because I was putting a piece
Okay.
of food in my mouth, and I didn't want the microphone to go blah 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 blah.
Ah,
Okay, so there
Anyways,
you guys were. You're on the planet. You've got a cab driver as your new best friend. He's got 5 kids.
I
don't
got
ask how many
5
different
kids
mothers.
to feed.
Yeah, and we were gonna have him because we know we wanted to go after the minor group first. And I believe that was the Rust Skulls. And I believe they were hiding out under the tram network in the lower city.
Yes,
So that
is the Rust Skull.
That's where
Yep.
their little hideout is. Yep.
So we wanted to head down that way.
or you want to stop on the way.
Do we need to stop for any supplies or anything on the way?
If you have to use the
Right.
bathroom, use the bathroom now.
Does anybody need any supplies?
I mean, I got 1 Stimpack, so I mean,
Kelly said she's got 4. I've got 2. Jeff has 3 or 4. I think someone can toss you a spare stim pack if we need to.
all right,
What's
we'll
all
be
this
good. I got lots of.
Mandalorian? I'm gonna get shot talk going on here. You're
I
invincible.
got lots of health. So we had downtime. My 1 strain's gone.
He's got a lot of experience in getting shot, so
I do.
we should just be patient.
So
He
as
will
you
learn to
guys are
dodge in a later life.
as you guys are zipping through the wreckage of this once great city where they've like welded together some tram lines so that the tram can go through this part of the city that's a big gaping hole from orbital bombardment. As your cab driver is giving you the gist of the beauty that is Taris, what are you guys gonna do? Head down to the Ruskell's salvage pit? Or were you going to do some
Yeah, and
shopping?
I think we were going to skip or forego the shopping. I think we're making our way down to the good old skulls.
Down to the action.
Yep.
And the train is a little rough, so I do recommend wearing your seatbelts.
If
As
you
well as
look out
keeping
the
your
left
arms,
window
legs,
now,
and
you'll see.
long rifles within the vehicle at all times.
Right.
Yeah, you must have a 16 passenger van fitting us all in there.
Well, thankfully, it can fit 8 people, which means, 5 or 6 in full
Nice.
armor fits just right.
Nice.
With trunk space to spare.
So for their headquarters, you do know from. Go ahead and try to go ahead and give me. I'm thinking what skill would work best here. Give me an underworld or streetwise roll.
Can you put your mic back towards your mouth?
My mic is back on my mouth.
Well, could you move it a
It's
half an
bad.
inch away from your mouth instead of directly on it?
How about that?
So,
Is that working out?
That's pretty good. So, Mike, take a look at your skills, whichever one is better based on what we talked about earlier. Between your Jim, what did you say it was? Knowledge
I'd say
underworld
give
or
me a underworld or streetwise. So on your character sheet, at the very top, you're going to want to click character sheet instead of vehicle sheet. Yes, I'm totally peeking over your shoulder at your character sheet.
And then the
And this
skills
one.
tab on the second set of tabs.
All right, character sheets. Well, go back again. I'm sorry.
Down to about halfway down, and you're currently on item inventory. You want to click the red box halfway down that says skills.
Box skills. All right, cool. And
find
So-
your
giving me
streetwise?
either a streetwise or
Which was
underworld.
general skills towards the bottom is streetwise. And
yep, I
then
see
knowledge
streetwise.
skills.
So what do I do with it? Do I?
So
first you
I've
look to
got the
see how many
pool.
dice are there.
First off, 75 times ask the GM if the pool is correct.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
first off.
Yes.
And your
First
But
pool
step,
compare-
is
and then
ready.
when he says it is, ask him again because it's probably
Okay, so it looks like you found that little D20 there to roll. Oh, no. It looks like
Go ahead.
you're not quite sure how these guys get into their headquarters.
So,
But you
Mike,
know
really
that-
quick, if you go down further, hold on, I just want him to understand this. What was your streetwise skill?
2.
No,
Okay, so it
your
wouldn't have.
And yeah, I could have shown
Underworld.
you that from my other sheet here.
Or I'm
but,
sorry, no,
didn't-
your
yeah,
underworld. My bad. I
Yeah,
said
what's your
streetwise.
underwood?
I meant underworld. If you go down a little bit further and find underworld under
2.
knowledge. Okay, so it wouldn't have mattered. But what you want to do is when he gives you two choices like that, look
Gotcha.
at both of them and see which one is better.
So, yeah, one is knowledge, and the other one is just general. All right, cool. So yeah, more custom. Yeah, I probably should have done it in the world, but either way, it probably won't made too much of a difference. But thank
No,
you.
it's all about the dice pool, number of dice,
Yep.
and how many golds you have.
Yep. Cool.
Yep, and in this case, you had the same pool for both of them. So you don't quite know the secret entrance to get into their base.
Oh yeah,
But
that
you
one without
guys
saying.
do know the general information you were told that it's built underneath the train yard. Basically, where the subway cars and the hover platforms come and go, it's underneath that platform somewhere. As the clock is ticking, you burned up 30 minutes getting there and parking the car.
With my knowledge of underworld, would I maybe know the inner workings of an area, this kind of a construction?
I would let you make a roll. It's going to be a little more difficult since you're not a local.
Sure.
You're going to totally look around for the street signs, the normal gang signs on the walls and stuff like that that says entrance here.
Yeah, that and just knowledge of the construction, typical building layout, what might potentially work.
Well, remember, construction-wise, this is a post-war rebuilt ruins, so the construction is not up to par here.
Okay.
Out
Let me
of
know when you're ready.
curiosity,
It's got that rustic Beirut feel going, and the pool is ready.
All right, so Underworld. All right, here we go.
You start looking around at the
Boom.
signs, and immediately you see some of the graffiti of the rusted skulls. It totally looks like it looks like a protocol droid skull that's been rusted out with little jagged pieces of metal put in it to give it a crown effect. And you're just like, hey, I just saw a kid with a patch walk past that vending machine and move it to the side and go behind it. So with your ability to look for trouble, you've spotted their secret entrance.
Sweet.
nice.
So I will
So,
point that out to the group. Yeah. Looks like we got a spot right over there.
maybe our more perceptive people want to make sure that there's no traps for us around that secret entrance that we need to worry about.
I'll give it a look.
Okay,
Are you
so you're
ready?
just going to give it a general look-see to make sure there's no booby traps, or is there anything else you're looking for?
I'm basically looking for safety, so.
Okay, go for it. Your pool is ready. You clearly realize that these vending machines that open up, so that way it's basically the equivalent of French double doors. You totally know for a fact that they are under video surveillance, as there's 3 cameras that have been turned away where they're supposed to be recording pedestrians walking around for their safety, to they're pointing specifically at the vending machine area and have been wirejacked in with little remote transmitters so that if anyone goes through the double doors, they will be caught on camera.
I will
What
point
would you
that
like
out.
for that advantage?
I'm good with the suggested. Any additional information associated with the cameras?
Okay, and you totally witnessed somebody come up and they do the special combination on the machine to unlock the door, so you have the access code.
All right.
You go,
Oh,
Dr. Pepper, Fanta, Fanta.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't know if it matters, but your taxi cab driver has 2 golds and a black in mechanics. Maybe he could work something out while y'all kind of do your thing.
By the way, the symbol
Oh,
you
look.
see there is a negative
Minus.
symbol
Oh,
in
right.
the black dice, which means you remove a black dice against you, which
Gotcha.
is a good
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that's just a suggestion for my fare. I know a little bit about mechanics, maybe not as much as some of the other people's, but I could.
My 100 credits really is paying off, isn't it?
I got vengeance.
He's offering to pick locks for us, and
As
this
long
is
as you do what you're
impressive.
supposed to do, I'll be a happy camper.
Talk about service above and beyond.
I'm
He's
gonna
just
say-
wondering if he's got a secret before the war. If maybe he was like a failed Mandalorian that lost his honor and stayed back here on this planet to be a taxi driver.
Or you could be a really pissed off taxi cab driver. You don't know. We'll see how the story goes.
And what's he toting?
Mechanic abilities.
Well, no,
Oh.
what's your armament?
Um,
What are you
He's got
weapon
some
wise?
armored clothing and a bunch of holdout pistols of different types.
Okay.
And by a bunch, he means 2.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
what's
Like a special sunsetting.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
that's right,
what's he got a
3.
bunch in the glove box that from evaporating people in the back seat? That
I'm telling you.
I mean,
heavy
you pick
metal.
up some drunk club kids, and pistols just get left in the cushions.
Well,
Right?
those are the better ones. I've sold so many so far. It's The cap airs are nothing. The weapon sales are there.
Yeah. I just
Anyways,
think of the
back to y'all.
heavy movie cabbie. All
Well,
right.
you guys have found the entrance. You clearly have identified its markings of other entrances that may be down here with that skull marking. And you know for a fact it's under camera surveillance.
Have we been
You
able
guys
to
gonna do?
spot the cameras? I mean, we know for a fact it's under camera surveillance.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
yeah,
we can see the cameras.
With Bram's perception roll, he clearly pointed out hand gesture wise off camera that there's a camera there, and a camera there, all pointed towards the wrong directions. These could be cameras that security, corp security is using to protect the pedestrians using the train system. Nope, they're all pointed at the secret door.
Yeah. So we can shoot them out,
Somebody
or
with
we can.
splicing ability that can.
I was going to
I
say,
mean-
can we slice them and do a feedback loop kind of thing, or
I can
or do we
try,
just
but-
shoot them?
I don't have
You could-
fancy slicing gear.
You could athletics
Does our
that
cabbie
stuff,
have
you could shoot
slicing
it,
gear?
you could mechanics it, and I can tell you the cabbie does not have slicing gear. He fixes his
However-
cab, he does not hack it.
I might have some slicing gear in my utility belt for the price of a light side point.
Yeah, because all I have is a data pad. Real basic stuff.
I'd say everyone just take a gun, pick a camera, shoot them all at the same time.
That
1, 2, 3,
could totally be
bang.
a thing too.
But
They'll
do
know
we
something
want-
happened, but they won't know who or what they're messing with.
Through that?
I
I'm
know
okay with
it's
shooting
so
them.
much
I like
time,
shooting
and we're wasting it. Well, you're
You
wasting
guys
it.
are, you guys are standing in
10
a
hours.
in the subway, just standing around looking at there's all these people are walking by looking at 5 Mandalorians standing together in one place, wondering what's going on. Are we at war again?
Anyway, if we want, I can produce a data spike, and we could let Dave do some slicing.
Dave, you better decide quick because I'm starting to feel an itchy trigger finger.
Hey,
Your cabbie has 3 green and a gold for coordination, if that helps with anything. Coordinate a good strike on all of them.
yeah, now that's your coordination's your
never
dexterity,
mind.
basically.
Like
Yeah,
So-
acrobatics
I tried.
kind of thing.
I mean,
Hey,
if we
Help
want-
you guys
you
out.
if you
could
want me to
use your
slice it-
coordination to jump up and smack the camera and point it a different direction like stupid kids would do.
I got
Yeah.
3 greens and a gold and a light range, so I can shoot one for you.
Yeah.
But no,
You
it's
want me
all
to
3
try
kids. I'm
slicing
just a
it?
cab
It's up
driver.
to you.
What was that, Dave?
I said, if you want me to try to slice, I can try slicing.
Go
But
for it.
problem is where's access to them?
I don't know. It's for you to figure out.
All
I
right,
mean,
so
probably have
Where
to
the
get up
exit
there.
was, Bram?
So while this is going on, Driss,
Hey,
go
did my
ahead and-
question get overheard?
I think
Probably.
it might have gotten overheard.
Yeah, my question was, Bram, did you see where there isn't a place that we could access their port, like that we can try to hack in? Because you had a whole bunch of advantages. I don't know if that was something that you saw.
There's
I had-
totally a classic Star Wars access port, not too far from the camera for getting into the public access, like R2D2 would do everywhere. So a hacker could, slicer could totally go right up there and just plug in.
Okay.
okay.
So while you
I'm
guys are
used-
discussing this, Driss, since people are asking you questions, do me a favor and give me a stealth check.
Okay. You ready for me?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Okay.
I
No
am.
problem there. Nobody's like standing around gawking at the 5 Mandalorians pointing things out to each other and wondering why that there's a group of Mandos here at this exact moment all at once.
We're all just into the architecture.
It's
Yeah.
it's a war torn world. We're looking to maybe help rejuvenate the area.
Yeah.
You're all holding cameras like a bunch of tiny.
All right. So you have a slicing kit now, then?
After I spent that point, I have a slicing kit.
All right. I will go over to said port.
Okay. And what exactly are you looking to slice into? Regular public
Um,
works or something specific and more difficult?
I'm looking for the cameras.
You're looking for the cameras, which you notice as you start slicing are behind a firewall of sorts. So
Of
some
course
kind
they
of
are.
protection. Almost like a very talented techie person has done some things. Go ahead and give me your computer roll for slicing. Wow. One of you guys want one of those points back?
Yep. Giving you the last one.
Flipping them.
Give me my upgrade. I already flipped it for an upgrade.
No, I was
Yeah,
flipping
but
them
Bram
back.
flipped one before you did.
Yeah,
Bram
the-
I
did it so that we could get the slicing stuff.
yeah,
That's how we got
that's
the-
how
Oh.
my
Oh,
Okay.
that's right. Yep.
In that case, give me that back then. There we go. All
All
right.
right.
So I got
sorry.
your upgrade in there for you. As all of a
All
sudden,
right.
Bram pulls out this beat up slicer kit that he found somewhere and put it in his pouch.
All right.
I've been
Ready?
carrying that around for 5 light years. Go for it.
All right. Here we go. Oh,
Nice.
Hey.
And you
he
guys
got
don't
one.
see Diesel sticking his tongue out trying to concentrate as the firewall is giving him difficulties on this crappy pad that barely works. But eventually he is successful in that he clicks the button and all 3 cameras come through on your data pad.
All right.
You are into the cameras.
So yeah. So basically, wanna
I can tell
basically
you
put
with
them
that
to
one
a.
success, you know that someone is watching them live and recording.
Okay. Oh,
Feedback loop of the last hour.
yeah. If I can throw it into a feedback loop.
Okay. Do me a favor, just because I'm curious. Give me a deception roll.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm good.
Hey!
You
Damn.
managed to perfectly pick a section of video that does not have like some guy sitting and then standing and gone, some standing, there's no weird loop like a cat or something in one corner of the video
Right.
that keeps resetting. I just wanted to make sure how well you were paying attention to your feedback loop.
Mm-hmm.
And feel free to take those 2 threat as stress.
Okay. I'll take the strain. Better than other
So,
options.
Screw that.
Diesel totally has the cameras looped, so whoever's on the other side watching them will not see anything happening live.
Sweet. All right. I give the signal. Go, go, go. And I make my way to the machine.
Okay, you unplug from the port there, and you guys go over to the vending machines. You push in the right combination that you hear the vending machines go click and open up.
Yep.
As you see, there's clearly when the machines open up, there's some signs that say, City Works Public Access Tunnels, pointing down the section you're going, but they totally were graffitied over, and they put these machines in their place just to camouflage their entrance.
Yep.
So, who is taking point on being sneaky? I'm assuming you're not just storming all in, all Blitzkrieg style.
Yeah, I'll take point on the sneakiness.
Your
Kelly-
taxi cab driver has a question. Do you wish for him to stay outside and keep the car running, or do you want me to follow along?
Well, I was going to just say, I don't know if you want to be standing alone around here alone in the aisle or in the street. You might make a good target. So you
If you
probably
want me
be
to take
safer.
along, again, I've got vengeance. I'd love to see you kill them all, and whatever I can do to help, I don't care
Yeah.
about me. So I will gladly
Except-
follow you down the tunnel, down the rabbit
I said
hole.
you'd probably be safer with us, but
Right.
just saying.
Perfect. I go with you.
I was going to say, your cabbie friend can tell you this: the train station down here is as safe as the least safest neighborhood in the Bronx.
Yeah, okay. Is that day or night Bronx?
That's the Bronx.
Hey, at least it's better than Chicago.
Because you're underground. There is no sun.
Right. Oh, never mind. Anyways,
Okay,
All
so you
right.
guys are all going down the stairs. Somebody
So-
give
Yep.
me a stealth roll if you guys are being super, super sneaky.
Can
I
I
will-
assist this? 'Cause
Kelly, what did?
I've got 2 yellow and 3 green in stealth.
Oh, all you, girl.
Yep,
All you.
I'm like, why are you assisting? You should take the lead.
Okay, well, I mean, he was okay.
Y-
I will.
yeah. If you want, I can assist you, but you got the role.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me when you're ready.
Go for it.
No.
Oh, nice.
Yay!
For some
Sneaky as shit.
miraculous reason, it could be
We
the
are
like
the knight.
it could be the jagged debris down here. It could be these salvaged cybernetics that these guys have chopped off people and left hanging out. There's dome-shaped robot skulls down here that your armor just blends in with the topography. The very industrial feel down here of salvaged goods and things blends in with your guys' Mandalorian armor beautifully.
We're all
So,
tiptoeing through the
Johnny, what
to
would
the
you like for
place.
that big damn giant?
Oh, I've got one for you, Kelly. If you don't got one,
Well, what's your suggestion?
I was going to
You
suggest that we get the drop on the 5 leaders of this gang in the middle of a heated meeting about their next plans.
Ooh, I like
Ooh,
that.
that's juicy.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's nice.
You're welcome.
Okay, so as you guys are tactically going through here like a tactical squad, all totally professional Mandalorian going through
And one
there.
cab driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a professional.
You
Professional
clearly hear a
captain.
bunch of, younger members yelling and hooting and hollering, playing some kind of, pyramid ball down below. We'll steal something from Battlestar Galactica down there. And then police looks over and then does a double take. And you realize on the walkway that you're on the upper level, there's some glass windows that clearly show you in a room the 5 faces that you were shown conveniently are all in the same room. It looks like one of the guys is bored. He's leaning down, looking down to the lower level through the window there, watching the young Spire members playing pyramid ball. Going, you could totally see he wishes he was down there and not stuck in this meeting. It should have been an email. And then you see, the another member that's totally, working on one of his teammates, cybernetics, just giving some, little tweaking here and there. And you see them pulling out like scraps of paper maps and pointing out like they're planning something from a distance.
How big of a distance?
You are at least medium distance.
Okay.
Me without grenades. What the
Is
hell?
there anybody here
remember
without a
the picture.
jetpack besides the cabbie?
Nope, I purchased one.
I don't have a jetpack, but I have movement.
I have rocket jump boots. That
Exact-
kind of rocket boots
Jim-
that I can.
Jim, now they're like glass over them, but we could just shoot right through that, right? It's like if someone was behind a glass window and I shoot at them, it's not going to give them much any protection, really.
I mean, unless it's Durasteel glass, it should only soak up a little bit of damage. I mean, in real life, snipers would usually have one sniper shoot the window and the other shoots the target to make sure the glass isn't giving any defense to the target, as one could almost say in game terms.
Yeah, we could do that. If somebody wants to shoot out the glass, and then I'll just full auto fire and kind of do my madness.
I'm willing to take it out. I'm a good shot, but nothing compared to you and Kelly.
Your taxi driver is always down for anything, so.
And remember, we're
let's
supposed
do
to be
it.
keeping one of these guys alive.
No, not here. This one we kill everybody.
This is
In the
Oh
skulls, we
no!
kill everybody.
The Wex coil is the tech for these guys. Fuck! I wanted to do the speeders first.
Yeah, it was really like I took good notes. I'm pretty sure that this guy has the one we want to keep.
Golda, why didn't you say that at the beginning?
Oh, shut your fucking mouth, kid.
As you see,
I told you as soon as you said you were going to open fire.
We did well, yeah. When I'm going to open fire, but this should have come out at the very beginning of the session because we would have gone to the other guys first. We don't want to carry a body with us.
I thought we said we were going to put it in the cab.
Yeah, we can. Best laid
We'll
plans
make
of
it.
mice and men.
Like there was this whole discussion about our cabbies being very helpful, and we can put it in his trunk. That was like a part of the conversation, so I didn't think anything of it.
That was just a suggestion. You decided otherwise.
Anyway, so we're here. There's nothing we can do about it now.
We'll make it work.
Don't aim for the nerdy one working on that guy's cybernetics. That's the one we need alive, remember? And you're like, oh shit, yeah, I was gonna light the whole room up. Good thing you said something, Shaft.
I'm still gonna light the whole room up.
I'll keep the trunk
see if
warm.
some despairing threats happen. That's all I gotta say.
Did they?
Okay, so they have not noticed you. The kids down there are playing pyramid ball, getting loud and rowdy and screaming and yelling. The really tough looking Nick Toe is just watching those kids play ball, and you can see he's got that. I wish I was down there playing ball right now because he's got the itch. You see Razor, the Trandoshan with the cybernetics. He's just yelling at his guys that we got to do something.
We
Are
would
they
love to
still
just
all rolling on the stealth, or has that worn off?
No, it hasn't worn off.
You guys are still stealth. Thanks to that big damn triumph.
Stealthy there.
20.
Jim, I think we would like to roll initiative and go into combat.
Oh, yeah.
Or do we get an initial action, then initiative?
Well, yeah, I'll let you
Right,
guys
'cause they
go
don't know.
first. And the first time, basically surprise round is the OGs, we would say. Will totally get a blue dice as well.
Ooh.
So if you want to roll your cool, since we are in ambush, you totally can.
I'm better at vigilance, but
And you're giving us a blue, you said?
Your actions from surprise will give you a blue because you're basically this first round in hiding. Nobody knows it's coming, so they got.
The dice pool is ready for us.
For
The dice pool's not
initiative,
ready for anything, but initiative, you're good to go.
Okay.
You want to hit vigilance
Yeah,
and
cool.
initiative.
oh, damn.
All right, sorry.
Oh,
Hold up.
my little green was good and active. All right.
So, Mike, on your combat tab.
Sorry, no, I got you. I thought that was just the OGs.
Nope, you two. You're here.
Yep.
You're part of the group.
Yeah, well, I heard the OG thing earlier, so that's under
Well-
character sheets, combat skills. No, wait.
Combat initiative. It says right underneath the tabs at the top. So when you're on the combat tab, right below it is initiative, and you want to roll cool, the top one.
I'm definitely lost now. Combat screen.
Yep.
Character, group, vehicle, companion.
No.
Down below that.
Top character sheet, and then scroll down to where your stats
sheet,
are, and then character skills or character info, skills, combat.
Combat skills. I do not see initiative anywhere there. Got knowledge.
So look
So
under the
way
combat.
above
You're
that.
too far down. Yeah, you're too far down, bud. Go up to the very
he's
top.
in the
Where it
skill.
says combat.
Oh, okay, I got
Where
you.
it says skills
Thank you.
combat, directly under it.
I was
Found
going to say
it.
you might have to extend if
Combat
it was folded up.
initiative.
Yep.
And
Awesome.
to roll is
Cool.
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 Yeah, you click the die at the very end of the row button.
Oh, I'm sorry, bear with me.
Yeah. Trust how long it took me to figure this shit out. You take all the time you need, bud.
Initiative, all right.
You good?
Nope, I am not.
Oh no, that's somebody else. Never mind.
That's somebody
Sure.
else.
Hey, Mike, I'm
Cool
sharing my
prepared. I
screen.
don't see the die mark. Oh, there it is. Bam. Under past
There we
modifiers.
go.
There you
Alright.
go.
There you
Nice.
go.
Awesome.
My bad. Sorry. Again, first timer. Thanks for bearing with me.
Everybody's new sometime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody's
so-
new.
You guys see the Trandoshan, he's
Sometime.
getting angry and he's yelling and he's rips some papers and throws them in the air as everybody just like kind of instinctively flinches from the big angry Trandoshan. Because when there's a big angry chromed up lizard, you care about that crap. So the initiative order sure looks like it's all of you before them again. So it's interesting. They're at the top and they're at the bottom. So
Well,
Mike just
except for
let you
that
know
first
in
NPC.
That's what he said.
well, that's what I mean. There's one at the top and one at the bottom.
Yeah.
So in Star Wars Edge of Empire, initiative is basically popcorn style. So any player can go in a PC slot, and the NPCs go in the NPC slots when you roll for initiative. So if there's any time you want to jump out of your usual spots and you haven't gotten yet, you can totally say, "Hey guys, can I go next? I got a cool thing." And usually everybody be like, "Do the cool thing." So you guys are in stealth mode. You're super quiet. You guys see them trashing their room there. What is it that you're going to do? Who's going first?
So just a quick point as we're getting ready. I'm like, I got the tech guy that we need.
Roger.
I think the cabbie should take out the window. You know, aim at anybody and then just take out the window.
Cabby's taking out the window?
No,
Sure.
I thought you already snuck in. The window's gone. You're past the window, aren't you?
No, we're standing above windows, Mike.
All right. Well, I'll shoot a window for you if you want to. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
that's right. You're going for a straightforward into it. Yeah.
Now, when you're
'Cause I
going
got
to
some
take
decent
this-
ranged and, like, yeah, gunnery skills.
Just to make sure we're all envisioning the same thing, are you guys above the room or are you off to the side and it's just catwalk away?
I thought we were on a catwalk above the room looking down into them.
Okay, that's why I was asking. I just wanted to make sure we're all thinking the same thing.
And we're at
Yeah,
like
that's what I envisioned.
medium range.
Right.
Medium range, yep.
Okay.
And conveniently, the ball players down below are straight down at medium. You know, a little at the edge of medium range, but still medium.
Yep. So yeah, if the cabbie shoots, that opens up for all of our firepower as main focus. So,
Yep.
and like I said, I'm focusing on the guy we need since my damage is all stun.
Yep. And I'm going to auto fire like crazy. So
Yep. I'm gonna I'm gonna cryo package him for transport.
Please, Lee. Okay,
So Kelly
who's
will-
going first?
we'll have the cabbie go first, then Kelly will go, then Dave, you can go, then I'll go.
Okay.
So, a question for your cabbie. What do you think is best for him, the TT-24 or a panic pistol? Panic pistol is inaccurate, but since I'm, close blank with some glass, I don't think accuracy matters.
Well,
No,
first
go with-
off, which one has medium range?
Both do.
Okay.
Okay.
Mike, use that top one. We already
Okay,
discussed
very good.
that. That's your best weapon.
TT-24 holdout. Cool.
As all of
So,
a
any
sudden, you
idea
guys
or-
see Chadu open his coat and he's got a bunch of holdout pistols stashed in different pockets.
I'm a cab driver. What do you expect? So I hit the little dicey rolly thingy?
So on your
So
combat
I've got-
tab, go ahead, Jim.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so on your combat tab, right below where you had rolled your initiative, you have your weapons listed.
Yep. I'm right on the
Fine.
TT-24.
Yep, and there's a die in the middle of that right after critical. Click that die when Jim says he's ready for you.
Oh.
First off, do you have any talents that improve what you're doing by chance
Nope.
that you might want to
He does
use?
not.
Nope.
Okay. So
Okay.
You can. So hold
nice.
on. Mike, say
Yes.
that you want to aim before you take your shot because you're not moving, so you can take an aim maneuver for free, and that
All
makes your roll a little bit better.
But he already shot.
Did he? Oh,
And
okay.
I think where I was aiming kind of goes without saying, shoot the glass.
No, you whenever you don't just assume that.
Right.
You have to tell the GM you're aiming every single time.
Gotcha.
Because I'll
Thanks
put
for
a
the
blue
lesson.
dice in, which I was assuming you were going to, because I was going to ask you that, which is why there is a blue dice already in there that was quite prolific.
Yeah. Because that is a maneuver, and if you wanted to do another maneuver, you would have to take strain now if you wanted to move,
Right.
because you can do
So,
2 maneuvers.
so what
But
does it look like when you whip out your 2224 holdout pistol and you take a shot at the glass?
Yeah, is the glass still there? Would be my first question.
Well, you have 2 successes. That's the little starbursts on your result there. So you hit the glass and it shatters.
If I have another maneuver, I'm going to step back and let the team do their thing unless someone else says otherwise.
Okay, if you want to take 2 straight, you can
And I
take a
guess, I
second
mean,
maneuver.
maybe I can try to take a shot at someone, but I mean, I'm not the best of, skilled right now, so I might miss. And
no, 1 action, so that's your
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, in that case, I'm
general,
just
you
going to step
have
back and
in general you have a 1 maneuver and 1 action, one skill check. So an attack counts as a skill check. You can choose to take 2 strain to push yourself to get a second maneuver. Like say you want to double move, or you want to aim, shoot, and then run away behind your friends. That would be a second maneuver for 2 strain, which you can totally do.
well, I'm so torn between the aim, shoot, and run away, or just jump, tuck, and roll.
So the GM will always encourage you to spend your strain. He will always encourage you to do so. Don't always listen to him.
Yeah. But
Don't
also,
listen to that guy. You got 2
in this
ranks in
case,
grit. You've got the strain to spend.
Yeah. Also know that you can spend, if you get advantage, which is the little laurels, you can spend those to recover strain as you're
Right.
Yeah, you
going.
can
So
so when
strain
your
back
strain
pretty
is
quick.
full, but when your strain is full, it's okay to spend strain. But when you start getting low on your strain, really think about how you're going to use it. So in this
Yep.
case, ducking behind us is probably a good idea.
I want to jump in, tuck, and roll, but I'll go with what you suggest. I'm just here for the ride. So you guys are the team. You're telling me what to do.
Yep. So take
So-
2 strain up at the top.
All right, up at the top.
Yep. You'll see
Strain.
strain wounds. So yeah, just click the little to the side on the
Yep.
blue side.
Blue side, I got you.
Yep.
1, 2.
And
All right,
for that
next.
threat, I'm going to give a black
Oh.
dice to whoever goes because the springing glass shoots everywhere. It's quite distracting seeing all these little glass shards. Just wait to see how it is for the kids underneath the window. So who's going next?
I am.
Medium
And,
distance, target rich environment.
Yeah. I'm gonna take out like one of the head honchos. I'm gonna aim for them. And
Are you going to go for the Trandoshan that you were showed as the boss, Razor Gorix?
yes, I will.
It's probably a
go
good
for
option
him.
for primary target.
Exactly.
He's a
And
big
I am going
Trandoshan covered in
to.
cybernetics.
Does he? I'm not moving, so I can use that to aim. But I would like to do precision. The
Precise aim.
precise aim. Yes.
And what does your precise aim do?
Once per round, I may perform precise aim maneuver, suffer strain up to the ranks, and I've got 2 ranks, so I took 2 strain, and reduce the target's melee and range defense by that number.
Nice.
Okay. And you
Nice.
think that's a good choice because not only is he a big, burly-looking Trandoshan, he's a Trandoshan with cybernetic armor and stuff all over him. So you have a feeling this guy, you're going to aim for the soft spots.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and take 2
Um,
strain, and you've reduced his defense to 0.
all right.
So which
Um,
one are you all supposed to take with you?
you ready?
Yep, your dice pool is ready.
Nice.
So that's 13 points of damage and crit.
Nice.
Very
And I'm
nice.
going to take back 1 strain.
Okay, 13 points of damage.
Shit.
Good thing he's got soak. But you want crit.
Yeah.
And it still gives you one advantage left over.
I took back strain.
Okay. And for razors,
Actually, no, I'm not going to take back strain. I'm going to give a blue to the next person. One of us.
Nice.
Yeah. Not too bad.
and I totally
Nice.
forgot
That
to give you
works.
your extra blue and your black dice, but we'll say they negated each other because. And he is staggered and cannot perform an action on his turn when it comes back up.
What a
So
shame.
Dave, you were going next,
Sure.
In the right soft spot.
and you were going after Wex Coil, right?
Yes. All right. Well, first thing I'm doing is I'm going to suffer 3 strain, and I'm going to leap across.
What? Watch him doing the frog jump.
Rick?
Who needs jetpacks and fancy stuff?
Okay, so you're gonna leap across as the last of the glass finishes going titter, 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 titter. Are you gonna land on the desk, the table that they're working around? Or are you looking to
Keep in
go
mind,
over it and land behind the table?
keep in
Probably
mind,
behind.
yeah. Keep in mind, I did declare that I was going auto fire.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, behind.
Okay. You
Land and
land,
skid over.
you totally do a general lead hood slide across the table and land on the floor past the table.
Yeah.
If you are interested, your target, I think, is Wex Coil, and he is within short range of you right now. And he
All
just
right. Well,
stops.
then.
He drops the welding iron he was using on the guy's cybernetics and looks at the dude whip up the cryo ban rifle into his face. But just
Yeah.
not in melee range yet.
No, that's good. So we will snap up and we will shoot.
Okay, I'm totally gonna do that.
I figured.
Hey, he's only got adversary 1 with 1 purple. Come on. Okay, and you got a blue dice from your friend. Are you going to take some extra strain to aim?
No.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay, I got your pool ready then.
Yep. All right. Here we go.
I
Boom.
was really
7,
hoping
8,
you said
9.
the stairs.
7, 8, 9, 10.
9. Oh, man. Okay, so
Yep.
your freeze brave just blasts him. His coat flips open. You realize he's wearing armor under the coat. And your
Yep.
weapon coats him with a nice coat of frost as he moves his arms and he goes, "A cryoban rifle? That's a beautiful piece of equipment." As he's chittering with the frost on his chin, but he is still up and doing his thing.
Yep. Okay. Well, I mean, 10 points,
He
Pierce
does
5.
not
So
look, yeah, he does not look comfortable right now with his eyelashes covered in ice. His
well,
chin's got
they
the
look
little go-to
It looked like a
ice.
heated discussion, so I needed to cool them off.
Right.
And what would you like for your advantage?
Hmm. I will take back a strain because I'm already up to 5. So
Okay. Okay, you guys saw him fly across the space, land in there, and freeze ray the guy. The dude is still chittering, but he is still up on his feet. Not for long, it looks like. Who's gonna do what next?
I am going after Dizo. I'm leaping across. I'm getting. I'm going to use a blast from my my jetpack though to make sure I make it across.
yeah, because you can't jump medium.
You give that
Say it
jetpack
again.
a squeeze.
I thought it was further apart. Like I thought that you were lucky that you made it across.
No, he has an ability to jump.
I have
He's
an
got
ability
long
because of
legs.
dense muscles. So
Yeah.
because I grew up on a heavy gravity planet, I can jump medium. Normally, you can't jump medium, a normal person.
Yeah.
So yes, you have to use your jetpack.
Okay.
He is
So
Supermando.
Just don't get bolstered by me going, look, he jumped, I can do it. Oh shit.
Yeah,
You got the jetpack.
Yep.
Okay, so you're gonna jetpack across the catwalk through the open window because if one of you can do it, you can do it too. Who are
that's
you
correct.
aiming to go to? Any one of them
Um,
in particular?
I have a really poor vision of how many people are in this room. I know there's 2 people in this room
There's
plus my
5.
partner. There's
So
5 in there.
total
Okay,
of
so I'm going to
5.
go
That'd be
after
fun.
one that is not Wax and it is not Razor.
So there is the one that you were told is like the enforcer of the gang is Baruka Tan.
Baruka.
He's a Niktos. He was the one looking out the window. And he, of course, was like, oh my God, when the glass broke, he kind of stepped back a little. Physically, fist to fist, he is the most intimidating melee person in the room.
Okay, so I'm going to go after him.
Okay. You go jetpack.
Can you put his name somewhere? Can you put his name somewhere in our chat or something? Because I've heard it
Golda,
8 different ways and I don't like it.
yeah, Golda. It's
Thank
also
you.
it's in our Roll20 channel.
Roll20 share.
Yep.
Being all organized and see it.
Yeah, shit.
Okay, so you jetpack across the chasm and, get your fist ready. Are you just going to go with, one punch or are you going to dual wield your fist? Give him the 1-2.
I'm going to try the 1-2.
Okay. And I'm assuming you're using some fancy fighting equipment there.
They're called my fist. No, I'm going to use, I have vibro knuckles.
Okay. Are you going to take 2 strain for another maneuver to aim to get an extra blue dice?
Yes. Yep.
And while I
Make
talk
sure you-
really slowly, are you tempted to click the destiny pool?
I am. I'm trying I was down at the bottom and I was like, wait a second, this isn't where I want to be.
So I've got your
Make
pool
sure
ready
you-
for you.
The Henry Cavill reload your fists motion.
You got to do the gun cock.
Yes.
You got to cock the guns.
That's right. Like that
Okay.
stupid Harry Cavill movie where he's fighting Tom Cruise and manages to lose somehow.
You mean Mission Impossible 6?
4,000, like I don't know. It was one of them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the funny thing is that
Okay.
gun cock was actually because they did the bathroom scene like 18 times and his arms were hurting. So he popped them to stretch the arms out and they kept that take because they're just like, why did you do that? It's cool. And he's like, my arms hurt.
Because I'm having owie. All right. Where'd it go?
You're
All right.
coming up and you're
So is
flying
everything
jetpack style. Everything's ready. Yep.
all right? Wish me luck,
Give
people.
the old left and the right.
All right. So I just roll once, right?
Okay. So you swing, and he sees the first swing coming, so your backhand hits him for a solid 6 points with Pierce 1. And for the 2 threat, I'm going to say when you hit him, he kind of does that brawler move where he grabs the hand that you just hit him in the side with, and he kind of pulls you over to your feet on the floor there. So you have to shut your jetpack off for the moment. As he kind of like realizes, oh shit, you wanted to fight. I like to fight. I like violence. And he takes the hit and just kind of grabs onto you and pulls you into the room, kind of half on the knee with him as you guys are like scrapping it up. He's
Okie
gonna
dokie.
totally fist fight you later.
Okay.
So who's going next?
I'll go next.
As you just filled the room with all of your allies. It is a
Yep.
target-rich environment.
Yep.
So
I'll go ahead.
my question is. Go ahead.
Yep. Go ahead. What's your question?
I was going to say, of all the targets in the room, who's the most OP of the targets you're aiming for?
So I'm planning on aiming for 3 targets, and that would be Razor Goric, and then the other 2 unnamed bosses that are in the room.
Is the reason?
So so not Wex and not Bruca. So Razor and the other 2.
Which one are we taking with us?
We're taking
Wex.
Wex with us.
Wax, all right.
which
Cool.
I'm handling.
The guy
Awesome.
that's covered in freeze ray.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
So and
But who's
Again,
your
that-
primary target you're aiming for?
well,
If
the
he's
way
spraying,
auto
it's
fire
the most
works.
difficult.
It's always the most difficult is the
Yeah.
first. So
Which is okay, Razor probably.
yep.
Yep.
So and I am gonna true aim, so I get an upgrade as well as I saw that coming. Upgrade as well as a blue.
This is going to be such
And
a
you
fun
said-
roll.
And you said we get a blue since we're on a surprise round.
Uh-huh.
And I also get a blue for my quick strike.
Okay,
So
'cause
I've
hasn't
got
gone
that.
yet.
Yeah, I have that one in there already, so we're good there. I just need the blue that you are giving us. And when you're ready, I am ready.
I will totally warn you, you're shooting a guy with adversary 2, and I flipped the dark side point. I'm full auto at medium range.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
going to be an interesting roll.
You ready for me?
Yeah.
Oh.
What the?
3 red dice, and I couldn't get a single to spare. What the hell?
You know, I don't really like that roll though. I really don't like that roll.
And do you have a certain signature ability that might make you change your mind about something?
I'm thinking that I'd like to remake that roll.
Okay. Are you re-rolling the entire pool, or is there some, depending on which one you've got, they do different ones have
Yeah,
different
it's that exact same roll.
You're a brave man.
You know. What are you gonna make me? Anyway, yeah, ready? Yeah, of course you're ready. It hasn't changed anything.
Yeah, I got nothing to change.
Look at that. Holy
There you
shit.
go.
My
Better.
red dice fail
That
me
one is
even
better.
more the second time around.
So that is 17 points of damage. I do hit all 3 of them
Jeebus.
with
Pierce
Pierce
4.
4.
And still have 1 advantage and a triumph left.
Yep.
So what does it look like when Razor explodes when you did the 4 points necessary to kill him after the shot he took?
So it just so happened that the way they were positioned around the table is from our angle we saw Razor, he was facing in our direction, and he had the other 2 guys to his side. And the Burka and Wex were, closer to us, more with their backs towards us. And so when Dizo and Chaff jumped down into the room, they were like in the corner away, and I just lit up Bruca and sprayed across to the other two. And when I just shot him up, he turned into mincemeat. And yeah, I peppered all of them.
Just go. You get the slow-mo of The Office going, exploding paperwork, exploding panels. The two lieutenants that have no name don't need names because they get shot 3 or 4 times and go down. But you still have a triumph and an advantage to spend. You son of a bitch. My red dice fail me tonight.
I want to give a black die to whoever goes next on their side for that remaining advantage.
Okay.
And for the triumph, Bruca was like more in the middle of the room, and so my fire basically just went right over his head, and it basically caused him to just yeah, he freaked out, and he's disabled.
Okay. He gets some PTSD flashback of the war when the Sith were bombing the planet from orbit, and he just does this immediate duck and cover behind the nearest cover he can find when your blaster cannon is just going kadoosh, kadoosh, kadoosh. And he's getting little PTSD baby Bruca as a little child. He's sitting there hiding under covers. He's watching his parents getting orbitally bombarded. Flashback to Battlefront 2. As it is the top of the order.
Well,
Jeff hasn't gone.
Wait, I have not gone at all.
Okay. I was waiting to see what you'd say. I mean,
I was waiting for I've let everyone go. I'm happy to go last in no order, but I'd like to go.
okay.
All right, I will pick a target. Maybe someone who has not been hit yet. Is there anyone who has not been hit yet?
Okay.
Everyone has been hit by fist, blaster, or ice.
Yeah, I'll just pick somebody. Whoever's near it.
Bruca that Chaff was fist fighting with, who was running over for cover, saying, "Don't want to die! Don't want to die! Don't want to die!"
All right, I will shoot at him.
Come back here, you big baby.
Somebody had to spoil all the fun and take out half the targets.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Shot.
It's kind of what I do.
It is what he does. So I am going to aim at this boy and take a shot. And
Okay,
actually,
well, ready unless you're shooting on auto fire.
And I'm going to take a light side point there.
Okay.
Are you ready for me?
Ready. Yep.
Oh.
But you succeed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do 10 points of damage.
Bruca dove for cover during the mist of blaster fire and left an opening for you to take that beautiful shot. What's it look like when you take him out?
Well, I figure if he dove for cover, he left his legs out, so I basically like kneecap him and then just like take his leg off, and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna die.
As he like flips over, leg goes one way, head hits the floor the other, with a resounding cracking sound of finality there. As for your 3 threats, all of a sudden, when you guys have been shooting on this catwalk over through the window, those kids playing pyramid ball look up and see the firefight going on as they're like, the bosses! And they're totally like running over to where their, towels and pants and jackets are, and immediately they're whipping out firearms. That they're pulling out all gangster style, looking up at you guys.
We got bad intel. We're gonna have to demand more money.
Yeah.
What was the bad intel? You knew they had numbers.
We knew they had numbers, but we were also told that once the bosses were taken out, the rest would scatter.
Yeah, but 6 seconds ago you started shooting, so nobody knows that the bosses are dead.
True. It's
You did
no
this
way
so
somebody could've
fast,
dropped
Wex
everybody
hasn't
that
even
quick.
been able to move yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So, first off, we're gonna see the kids down below you, because we have 2 Mandalorians and a cab driver on the catwalk. They're gonna grab their weapons and they're gonna start shooting the shit out of the guy with the automatic cannon that was going ka-choo, 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 ka-choo. I'm gonna totally give you 1 range defense for the catwalk. What's your regular range defense?
1.
1. Okay, they use those 3 threat for that free maneuver to go get their guns, so they use their maneuver to aim at you. As they get their weapons and they go, light them up! It must be an attack from the rival gang!
So Jim, I would like to suffer 2 strain and sidestep.
And what does that do?
So sidestep, once per round on the character's turn, the character may perform a sidestep maneuver to try to avoid incoming ranged attacks. He then suffers a number of strain no greater than his ranks, so a whopping 1, and sidestep. Until the start of the character's next turn, upgrade the difficulty of all ranged combat checks targeting the character, a number of times equal to the strain suffered by the target. So it would be 1 upgrade per attack until my next turn.
Okay, okay. So I've upgraded their 2 purple and you have 1 range defense, right?
Yep.
And the kids grab their heavy blaster rifles, which are basically just blaster carbines, leftovers from the war, and they start shooting like a bunch of teenagers with blaster rifles.
Meh.
And apparently,
Colorful.
Ooh.
they're shooting like a bunch of teenagers with blaster rifles. As Triss does feel a few shots make contact as the 3 of the kids with guns are shooting up there. So you get hit for 11 points of damage before soak.
Mm-hmm.
They take 1 point of strain, and one of them goes, ah, and feels faint. Obviously, the fallen glass must have done something. And one of the shots that hits Driss hits a soft spot of your Mandalorian armor. Give me a crit roll. As these kids were shooting like teenagers with firearms for the first time, and they ran all of their weapons dry. And apparently you owe me a light side. Ooh.
Done.
As you just take a clip that didn't even really hurt, it just, just made you feel bad that these kids actually drew blood. And the good kids are all down there
Yeah,
clicking the triggers, and you're hearing them dry fire like crazy, still thinking they're shooting at you. As the last of the glass is
because they're
tickling
kids
down.
and they shot me, and so now I'm going to have to shoot them, and so I feel bad.
Wow.
Your taxi cab driver does have stun on his gun, so he might just, teach him a lesson. Or you could kill
How
him.
will they ever learn if we don't kill them?
I mean, if you want to take a
You
shot
can kill
at
him if
them,
you
but that
want,
does
but
not-
I mean,
unless you manage to knock all of them out with that one shot, that does not preclude me shooting them too.
kill them. You got my blessing. Kill him.
And that exact moment, Wex is looking at the big Mandalorian that flew through the air like he did not care and covered him in ice ray. And he's going to go yelp and run. He does this look to the left, look to the right, realizes the only way for him to get out is straight back at the door that will unfortunately take him out the catwalk, but still, he thinks he might get away. and he is gonna turn and run. And for his action, he is slamming the locked door, spinning the little, it's a submarine style door hatch that was going to keep the place nice and secure and keep Mandalorians from sneaking up on them, and throws the door open. And then he's going to run a little bit more for some strain as he is gasping for air. As he's a good medium distance from you there, by the way, Dizo. The door is wide open, though, unfortunately, because, he didn't want to take the strain to close it. He wanted to take the strain to run.
He's gonna make me work for it.
Can a taxi cab driver shoot me back? I'm still on the catwalk as well.
Yeah,
He's at
you guys
long
on the
range.
catwalk see him coming. He's
And
kind
yeah,
of
I just
running
found the
right past you guys.
I probably should have had a chance to pull my arm as I see him spinning that, submarine door. But yeah, I'm down to take a shot if I'm allowed. If not, someone else
Why?
more
You can.
professional could.
He's
Well, as
closer
long
to
as you're
you
shooting
than
him
he
for
is
stun
at,
damage.
Taxi cab driver,
Dizo.
if he's allowed, he's taking a shot.
If you're shooting stun setting, fine.
Blaster has a
Yep, stun setting.
blaster.
Okay, you're switching your blaster. You're setting your phaser to stun. Are you gonna aim since you're just standing there?
All right, so I got this here, but I don't see the stun, but we're just gonna skip there as quality stun. So
Yeah, it just means that your
we
weapon has
shoot.
the option to flip the stun. I'm assuming you were aiming, right?
Damn Skippy, I was aiming right at the motherfucker, right in his back.
Okay, if he's
No, I was
running,
just,
he looks at you guys and he just gets this, oh crap, as you see the ice crystals breaking on his chin and eyes and clothes, as he's running and realizing, ah, crap, and you just bring your TTP4 pistol, and what does it look like when you stun him to the ground?
like a crackhead on meth. I don't know.
The little stun donut comes out of your pistol, hits him, because you're only at short range for him running towards you, as he bounces off the catwalk and is out
Oh
cold.
no.
At least he stayed on the
there's no threat.
catwalk.
At least there was no threat, so he didn't fall off the catwalk.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't break his neck. He'd all hate me for that.
So you do have
Good,
3
he's done.
advantages.
I like it.
Is there anything you'd like to use those for?
Suggestions group?
If you've used some strain already, you can take some strain back, or you could give a specific one of us a blue for 2,
I
or
would
for
love
1.
to give anyone a blue because I have not used a whole lot of strain, so I got plenty to spare. And again, I'm just a taxi cab driver. I'm not really a big part of this thing. Like, I'm not really trying to strain myself too much. I'm here to help you out. So if I can pass something along nicely to help you complete your mission, which will make me happy, yeah, I pass along the blue.
Possible tip.
So for 3 advantage, that would actually give somebody a full upgrade. Turn a green to a yellow.
So I will leave that up to the group to decide who gets said blue, if that's possible.
Whoever goes next gets an upgrade.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. The only
There it goes.
commands you have are those punks down below shooting up at the catwalk.
I'm going
I-
next.
I was gonna say, can I just be on them since they're down below? I'll whip out my never mind.
If
Who's
you want to
next?
yell at them, speech is a free action.
I'm playing. Whoever's next is up. I'm done, right?
Jim, you said we're in close range to them?
No, to them, your caddy was within close range of Lex. The kids are down at medium range because they're underneath you. What are you gonna do?
Is the cabbie still doing stuff, or is his turn over?
No, you've used your action and 2 maneuvers, so you're good.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, they pissed me off. They did damage. I was going to let them run. They were supposed to run. I'm going to free speech and say that, your bosses are all dead, but you were stupid enough to open fire. And I'm just going to auto fire on them.
Rain death and destruction.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you beat me to it. I was totally gonna go for that.
I knew you
Are
were.
you happening to use a true aim there?
I totally am. And I am going to, do my auto fire 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And if you're ready for me, I'm ready for you.
Pool is ready. Poor bastards.
Oh, shoot, I did my ranged heavy. Was that the correct pool? I didn't click on the weapon.
Okay. Click on the weapon so you see your damage, but I'll take that roll.
Range heavy, I mean,
It's-
it's a weapon, right?
it's-
So
Yeah, I mean, that's the
same thing.
I
Just
think
you don't have
think
all
your
the info.
weapon would actually add a blue because don't you have accurate 1 on the weapon?
correct.
You shorted yourself a blue. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, no, exactly. Yeah, so I ended up
how
doing...
much damage are you doing there?
So that is 17 points of damage, and I did manage to hit 3 separate targets.
What does it look like when you massacre these teenager punks?
Well, just plain and simple. Turned them into meat bags.
They are now part
They
of
will
the
be having
they had down below.
They will be having closed casket funerals.
Bloody.
So, with the exception of Wex out cold, breathing heavily with the frost coming out of his breath because he is still half frozen on top of being knocked unconscious, and the glass pitter pattering down to the ground finally, you guys are the only sound you're hearing down here, other than the occasional cover train going across the tracks up above, shaking the ceiling.
Okay. Well, I'm moving up on Wex and I am stun cuffing him.
Okay, you walk up on him,
Yep.
give him that quick once over to make sure it was a stun bolt that hit him and not something lethal, and then slap those cuffs on him. He's offering 0 resistance right now.
Good.
Is he offering zero resistance because he's unconscious?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll cuff him and get him ready to haul out. Were we supposed to clear out the whole Ret's Nest or just the main guys? I forget.
Just the main guys.
Oh, okay.
Well, as your taxi cab driver, things I've learned from putting people in my trunks, not only cuff them, but you might want to gag him as well.
How
Oh,
often
we'll
do you
deal
put
with that.
people in your trunk?
I've been doing this a while.
I
I
mean,
got a pillow and a blanket in there for him already.
it's you don't have a soundproofed trunk if you're offering those services on a regular basis.
Right.
Come on.
That's my other car. This looked really rough. I didn't want to bring out the fancy one.
Nah.
I mean, maybe if you need, I can go get the other car with all the extra benefits, but for now, just again, you might want to gag the motherfucker. Pardon my French. Or whatever language they speak in Star Wars.
Costs extra.
I mean, unless there's something else we need here, I'm ready to go. I got
Gag
Wex.
and tag.
Yeah, we've got another site to visit, so
Yep, we don't have time to fool around.
Okay, so you guys who's got Wex over his shoulder as you guys are heading out?
Probably one of the stronger people. I mean, if I have to, I can do it, but
I'd say don't even throw him over his shoulder. Just drag him on the ground, let his head hit everything.
we need him in good shape.
No, we actually need him to be healthy and able to use his cranium because that's part of what we're getting paid for.
right.
Let him squat sideways and let his middle hit everything.
So I can carry him.
I mean, I can do it. But
There you go, big boy.
I'm only a two bronze, so.
And I've only been paid 100 credits, so that's going to cost me a whole lot extra. Cost you a
Actually,
whole lot extra. Sorry.
You were paid really well, buddy.
I've helped you out, my friends.
Remember, this is a war-torn world. You're not getting expensive cab fares.
I mean, it is basically Beirut. It's all shot to shit.
All right, let's load up and.
So as you guys are
We're
heading
still here?
out, Are you being discreet when you leave? Or are you guys just like gonna kick the vending machine open and head out the double doors with the guy out cold on your shoulder?
No, we'll be
We're
casual.
discreet.
How long has it been since our loop back on the machine? Is it still cameras still out, or are they
Doesn't
now
matter.
Still doing the loop. You
Then
guys,
Doesn't matter,
you
man.
guys have
We-
pretty much been
Fucking bail.
in and out in 20 minutes or less.
Right. In that
Yeah.
case, I would say don't waste your time. But that's just me as your taxi cab driver. I'm not the strategic guy.
Yeah, we're being discreet.
Right.
Okay. So
Flying
who's gonna give me that stealth roll as you guys come out to make sure you're not
I
just
will.
popping out as the train's letting out and big, work shift trade and all kinds of crazy
It's
stuff.
usually Kelly or me.
Well, I did the last time if you want to do it.
Sure,
You
I'll
guys
No,
are
take
it's
it.
going to
all
tell
you.
me that in this war torn area, us carrying somebody over our shoulder is going to cause problems.
Kelly, this is all you. You're our stealth expert.
Well,
Ready?
no, I mean,
Do
I'm
have
also I'm about the same as Kelly. I've got 2 yellow, 2 green, and 2 blue.
No, Kelly's got 3 yellow, 3 green, or 2
no, I
green.
got 2 yellow and 3 green.
Is there like a
Right.
box
Oh,
we can
wait.
stuff them into and then carry them out nonchalantly?
Okay, so Jeff is
Doesn't
our
have to be
best.
over his shoulder. Like stick them in a trash can.
Yeah.
There
I will,
are
I can
there are
assist or
containers. These guys are salvagers. If you do that, I will give you a blue dice for your covert escape.
I'm not worried about it. If somebody wants to talk to us about it, then they are welcome to.
Okay, Kelly, go ahead and make that roll.
Right.
Alright,
Taxi
here it
cab
goes.
driver
Look
just walk
for Jeff.
out first. Bye.
I got
Piece of cake.
Okay, so you guys, open the machine. You realize there's a lull. There's some people coming through that are making a great, barrier of vision there. And you blend. Are you going to blend in with them, all Assassin's Creed style, with your hostage over your shoulder?
Yeah, sure.
I thought we
Okay,
said we
blend.
put him in a
Yes.
container.
Well, apparently the putting him in
I
a
didn't.
container got kiboshed. It
Okay,
was
fine.
mentioned, but then somebody said we don't need a container.
All right.
Yeah, Dave
So
said he
you
wasn't
guys-
worried when it went away.
Too much
So
extra effort.
we screen swiped you guys out at the parking lot outside the train station. You've got the hostage being plopped in the trunk. You guys are getting in the cab. What is the plan at this point?
I'm going to use a stim.
As you notice, there's a blood trail coming off your leg.
Yep.
That's a trickle.
And we're going to start making our way to the garage in the east end of the lowers because they weren't going to start their race until midnight. So we've it's what now, like barely approaching 10 o'clock. So we've got time to get over
Yeah.
there.
Cool. We can drop this kid off.
Are you gonna drop them off?
I don't like the idea of dropping them off. I want to keep control of them until we're done.
Okay, kid makes a little noise when you guys halfway through town. Somebody punches them, puts them back to sleep. So you guys are
How
Yeah,
heading
much
but
to
if
the
we're,
garage or where the
How much-
race is happening. Remember those.
I mean,
two
if we're
different
turning them over to
locations.
the person of question for the mission, why would, I mean,
Yeah, how much time would we waste if we were to go drop this goon off to
Whoever.
what's her name?
Would they get credits for this that would help out for furthering the mission? By returning this guy, would it be like, hey, you get some money for this, and then you can continue along and use those credits for something else?
Hey,
No, we don't
I
get to
mean,
spend credits right now, but
That's not traditionally how.
Let's ask questions.
you get the idea that your cabbie friend thinks he can get you to drop him off and back in no time whatsoever. He has
all right,
faith in
let's
his
go drop them
pilots.
off first.
Okay.
And Debbie will use his driving skills because he's got a bunch of them. So
So do me a favor. Speaking of those driving skills, is you're gonna offer to I can rip through town and come back down the other way if nobody's business. And as you are gonna do that, give me a piloting planetary roll.
That's under skills.
Yep.
Mhm.
But
And it is
piloting
piloting
planetary roll.
Black dice involved, but your dice pool is already set to take that dice out. So you guys witness his expert driving, where he takes 1 point of strain because for a second you thought you were going to get caught between, a couple of reclamation vehicles, and you managed to slide your way out of them all Corbin Dallas style without losing any points on your cast. And you easily get there. How are you guys dropping them off? Are you just like dumping them off to one of the guys out front, or you coming in to say hi?
No, we call up the Lady Falleen, whose name I can't
Okay.
remember, and let
Yeah,
her
we want
know that
Dark Side service.
we will be bringing the package to the side door.
Okay. And she says, "Good. All deliveries must come in the slides." and she totally gives you the shh, darling. Names are beneath us. As
That's why I
you
said.
totally do a quick come around. Two of her goons grabs the kid, drags him off. You guys head back down, and you zoom, dive super fast down the layers of the city down to where you need to go. So, is the plan to go, like I said, the garage, or the place where they're doing the race?
The plan is to tip your taxi cab driver well.
I think that we determined that they would head to the race site roughly an hour before they race. Until then, they would be in their headquarters. That was the information we were given. So, what time is it now? We know they're racing at midnight. So
it's about a good hour and a half before the race.
So then we're going to the garage.
To the garage.
And the taxi driver will be tipped upon completion of said services.
Right?
If he
he's still
lives.
alive.
If he
Right,
keeps
that's
asking
why
us for money, he might not be.
That's why we tip after. I mean, if you're not around, then, well, that's so much for the tip.
And your money saved. All right, hop on in. Seatbelts on.
Okay, so as you guys are pulling up to what used to be this beautiful garage, it's on one of the lower levels, so it's got, basically ground instead of just, upper patios. Are you just gonna drive up to the entrance? You gonna jump out a block away? What's the plan?
Well, I'm just a driver. You tell me.
Well,
So-
we don't want to get his taxi tore up, so we probably ought to walk in.
True that. We should
Is
walk
there a
in.
near bar or someplace I can drop them off to so they don't look so conspicuous, like they're just heading into the place?
There's
And
a bunch of scuzzy cantinas all over, up and down the street.
just drop them off there so they look like a normal fare. You guys cool with that?
Normal. When 5 Mandalorians with long rifles get out of the car.
Hey.
Normal.
They need a drink. And maybe a little scuzzy, and whatever that one thing is that, yeah. The seductress lady that you mentioned at the beginning.
Pauline.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'd rather just drop them off in front of a bar and maybe go park my car and catch up with them later, but
Yep.
Park the car.
it seems a little less conspicuous. Yeah, the cab.
Okay.
It's also my car, by the way.
And as you guys get
cab,
out of the cab, do me a favor
Yep.
and somebody give me a stealth or deception on how coyly you guys are getting out of the car as opposed to like a crack tactical squad pulling out of the car, or kind of nonchalantly getting out Highlander style, like I have a cannon in my coat.
I'll roll a stealth.
Go for it.
Oh,
As you guys kind of look around, when you guys get out of his cab, you notice that there's a lot of eyes on this street. Couple of homeless types all huddled together over some chemical fire, glowing, coals. They're looking right at you guys, seeing a bunch of Mandalorians, and are like tapping each other, like, "Oh shit, shit's coming down! It's an army of Mandalorians. I heard you could take over a starship with just one Mandalorian. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Mandalorians.
I was gonna say, yep, it's a totally wrong count.
Obviously, he's a little snookered up. He's counting some extras.
Yep.
When you have more than 3, it's easy to lose track.
A month from now, it's gonna be there were 12 Mandalorians and 40 street bikers. It was an all-out brawl in the middle of the streets.
And even the smallest of the Mandalorians was just twice the size of the biggest Wookiee.
It's an
Of course.
illusion.
So as the cab is pulling off, how far away are you parking? Are you going to the next nearest alley to pull into, or park up on the roof somewhere? Remember, this is
Well, hopefully we had a meetup place, so I'd say a couple blocks down, somewhere in the dark and conspicuous, and hopefully far enough that no one can follow me on foot. As I'm driving, I'd like to be able to make sure no one is following me. Yeah, I'd like to park my car. Is there a parking garage nearby, or no? I don't want a parking garage because that's enclosed. No, just a nice little parking lot somewhere, just in the dark, and I'll make sure I'm not being followed.
Totally an area where if you paid kids some credits, he'll make sure your car doesn't get stolen, or at least honk your horn if somebody's starting to take the hover jets off of it.
I'll take that. It's a rough neighborhood. I don't need to get. We don't need to get back to the car, and there'll be no wheels on it or whatever they use. Get back in some bricks. Long story short. So yeah, I'll take a nice paid parking lot.
Okay. You give the kid some credits. The kid pulls back the hood, and we find out it's actually 2 Jawas in a coat.
Because they would have been the ones stealing the wheels if you didn't pay them.
I was going to say there's nothing left now.
Nothing but the wheels.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I think is left.
Okay. So as you Mandalorians are on the streets outside a rough and tumble bar where you hear fights and scraps going on, it's basically think of every biker bar ever, or every bad VFW ever. I was thinking somebody would make some kind of noise. You guys look around and realize people have noticed you guys. People know there are Mandalorians with weapons on the street here. They're not freaking out, hands in the air running, but people are just all of a sudden you see one of the homeless people get up and start jogging off in a staggery kind of jog down the street. You guys do anything?
Which
Just
direction?
Let 'em, actually
which
heading
direction?
away from you
Towards.
guys, not towards the clubhouse.
All right. Well, that's fine.
Shots.
Let them run away. We're not going to start shooting them.
Okay.
I mean, unless, one of the talkie people thinks they have anything important they want to tell them. I can't imagine what that would be, but...
Now, as long as you're not heading to the clubhouse
Right. We just start marching toward the clubhouse.
Past the clubhouse. Kelly, do me a favor. Give me a perception check.
Me?
You.
Me?
You're the sniper.
Okay.
You totally see that homeless guy
Nice.
runs past the clubhouse, crosses the street, goes up to one of those little communication kiosks, which looks like a payphone, and totally is pointing in your guys' direction and yelling at the screen at the broken kiosk to somebody. He's telling somebody that there's Mandalorians out there.
Amazing.
And you guys are just walking too cool for school towards the shop where you see there's a whole army of swoop bikes. We're talking 20 swoop bikes all lined out in front, all classic motorcycle style. So they park dead center. They lean their bikes to the left and to the right, so it looks like a flying V of parked up swoop bikes. At least 20 of them.
Who was it that had the
domino effect.
spice?
Dun, 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 dun.
Who was it that had the spice hidden on them? Jeff, was
that
that
you,
you?
maybe?
I believe Brand's
fine.
got the kilo.
Who does?
Yeah, I'm the one who's got the kilo of drugs.
As we approach the clubhouse, maybe you want to display that.
Oh, sure.
As you guys basically get almost across the street, which is like a 4-lane street, you probably notice on the second floor of this building a couple people hanging out the windows, kind of lean down and look at you guys. And one guy totally gives you the arm gesture, the hey, what's up? From the second floor, where they feel nice and safe.
And that would be a good point to flash our wares.
And I will flash the wares, and I
You
can do it
take
in
that
a
kilo
even
of
way.
spice and shake it in the air at them.
We're here on business.
And
Jeff, that's all
one
you.
of you give me a coercion or a charm roll.
Or a what?
Or charm. Are you being
I didn't hear.
Captain Reynolds, or are you being Al Pacino?
Jim, we still didn't catch what it was. Coercion or what?
Coercion or charm?
Charm. Okay. Well, I suck at both of those.
So who's our coercion or charm person?
And if Bram is waving that kilo, that's totally going to get you a blue dice.
I'm 2 green on both of those.
I
Me
got
too.
3 green for charm.
Coercion, I have a yellow and a green.
Kelly, you got anything?
The charming cab driver's like, I'm friendlier than you guys.
Yeah, I got my taxi cab driver high as a better option. I'm 3 green, and he's a taxi cab driver.
Remember,
friends.
social wasn't one of our strongest points.
And I know if
my
our cabbie's
charm
doing it,
is
I will give you
2.
another blue.
I was just say, deception. I've got 3 green, but charm I've got 2.
I mean, if it's deception, I'm doing great. But charm and coercion are not me.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim, couldn't we get away with a deception because we're not really here to make a deal?
Your taxi
Plan
cab
on taking this
driver
back
charm
with us.
them.
At the moment, they don't care if you're telling the truth or lying. You're just trying to get them to listen to you in the first place.
Okay.
Deception
Taxi
is
cab
when you
driver
get
has a
inside and get
smile.
to talk to the important people.
Sure, taxi cab driver, go ahead and
Do a
Okay,
charm
I'll
roll?
give you another blue since you're a cabbie and your face is known around here.
You never know.
Go ahead and make your charm roll.
All right, so whenever you're ready, I'll do my roll.
Go for it. You're good. Pool is ready.
So my nicest smile and just like also just those, and no deception, just charm.
well, that's interesting.
That's very
Oh, no.
interesting. That's the dark side point of the night. This was supposed to come
Wow.
up earlier tonight. So immediately, you point to your friend over there that's got the kilo of spice, and you do your most charmingness, which is very effective. And they're just like, ho, ho, ho! Hit a button, the doors go, bzz, click, open up, as they're like, come on in, my friends, with the kilo of spice. What would you like for your 4 advantages?
I would like to, as I walk in with my friends, have someone whisper into my ear what I should probably take those as. So we're walking through, and yeah, I got a couple suggestions coming through on the back end for my advantages. Hint, hint, guys.
Oof. This is just us
And I'm walking even slower, trying to
being
keep some
charming.
You guys
time.
are just about to come in the doors. Something's gonna happen for that despair.
Yeah, we know,
we gonna-
but we want
Are we gonna
we-
find out what those triumphs are next time? Because it is time to wrap it up.
Can
It is
we
time
split
to
them in half? Couple a couple advantages here, a couple advantages there.
Oh, you can split them all up, yeah. But
If you want to take anything now, we're getting close.
So as you guys are deciding what the advantages are going to be used for,
unexpected subjects beyond.
you hear a group of swoop bikes ripping down from the higher levels. with the
Actually,
bikes
can I throw
going
an advantage?
What's that?
Go ahead. Your story.
And as the swoop bikes are coming down, you guys look up to think, ah, shit, it's more of these blaster douchebags showing up. You notice that each swoop bike that's coming, and there's 4 of them, have a passenger on the back that's holding something. And all of a sudden, they start to throw these somethings, which look a lot like some kind of bottle of cheap booze with a flaming rag attached that come flying down out of the sky. As a rival swoop gang is coming here to fuck with these guys before their big race because they were hoping the place would be empty and they could fuck around with it. And then they realize after they throw their cocktail bombs and wave their pistols that they just threw shit at a bunch of Mandalorians and realized, oh shit.
Oh shit.
We picked a bad time to do this. And that's a
Can we
good
recruit
place to
them?
wrap it up there.
Let's recruit them.
Ah,
They can be a good distraction. Like, tell them, come back a little bit later and come do this thing one more time. We'll help you out. Give them the kilo of Coke even. We don't need any more. Give them the Coke
well,
or Spice. I'm sorry, Spice. Recruit them to be our distraction. And that's my last suggestion as your cab driver for the evening. I promise you, I'll be home safely.
yeah.
How many points?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is kind of using the advantage option there where like a whole bunch of that group thinks we're all safe and clear and good and they're more focused
I have one for you.
and they're more focused on the swoop gang than us, so they're not paying attention to us now.
I have one for you.
Okay.
I don't know how many
Time's
advantage
not good
that's going
enough.
to
Fine.
take. I don't know how many advantage that's going to take, but one of their Molotovs actually causes the domino effect, knocking over all of the swoop bikes for the gang inside of the club.
I would gladly take
No.
all 3 and give you 1 to spare for that.
I still vote recruit.
No.
At
No.
the moment, the gang you're here to jump won't give a shit about you guys and will be pissed at those guys, especially when you're busting up their bikes before a race.
Yep, not only that, but it also puts their swoop bikes out of commission for at least a turn while they try to pick them all up, so they can't make a quick getaway.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so is that what we're using those for?
Sounds good.
Okay, so
Same
that's
general
a good
concept
place
that I had.
to wrap
Heavy.
it up there. And you guys got
All right.
15 experience since you managed to take the one alive and turn him in.
Woot woot.
Excellent.
Good night, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Take
Have
care,
a
y'all.
good night, guys.
Bye, gang.
Bye.
Yep. Good job.
Indeed.
That's fun.
All right.